On Tuesday night, Nick Madrigal and the Chicago White Sox felt pretty suspicious. What they felt fishy about was the opposing Detroit Tigers and the possibility of them potentially stealing signs. Miguel Cabrera then went out and had some words to say on the matter, saying, and I quote, "Come on, this is bullshit. I don't play that game. You need to respect. Get the out of here." White Sox manager Tony La Russa then went out and gave Miguel Cabrera respect, saying that if he wasn't getting signs, then he wasn't. But then he also added that he encourages his middle infielders to be vigilant about runners at second base trying to steal signs from the catcher. The Tigers, at least in a sense, have a slight target on their back when it comes to sign stealing because of their new manager, AJ Hinch, who of course was the manager of the infamous sign-stealing Houston Astros. What the Astros were doing, however, was way worse than what the Tigers were allegedly doing against the White Sox. Nick Madrigal and the White Sox accused Miguel Cabrera and the Tigers of stealing signs from second base. That is something that has been going on in baseball pretty much since the day the game was invented. Now, that doesn't mean it may not be Bush League, of course, but there is no rule stating that stealing signs from second isn't allowed. In fact, it's legal as long as there isn't technology involved like there was with the Astros scandal. To truly understand how far back sign stealing in baseball goes, we have to go back to the 70s. The 1870s, that is. Before I get into it, take a second to like this video, and if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button for daily baseball content. The oldest recorded instance of a team attempting to steal signs dates back to 1876, when the Hartford Dark Blues hit a person in a shack to tip off their hitters when the pitcher would throw a curveball. In 1897, George Stallings, the manager of the Philadelphia Phillies, had Morgan Murphy, who was a backup catcher, hide in a clubhouse beyond center field with a binocular and a telegraph that he used to alert Stallings to what pitch the opposing catcher was calling. And just 3 years later, in 1900, Murphy was used to steal signs again, this time with Phillies coach Pierce Chili's, who stood on a box with electric wires that relayed to him coded messages in the form of electrical buzzes about what pitch was coming, which he communicated to the batters by stomping on the ground. He would get 1 buzz for a fastball, 2 for a curveball, and 3 for a changeup. No action was taken against any involved in these early sign-stealing incidents, however. In 2001, members of the 1951 New York Giants admitted to stealing signs against the Brooklyn Dodgers using a telescope to win the National League that season. They came back from 13.5 games behind with 10 weeks to go before the postseason to win the pennant using this technique. Bobby Thompson was on that team, the man who hit the infamous shot heard around the world. Thompson, although admitting to the team cheating, always denied being tipped off to that pitch that ended up becoming history to win the World Series. On May 26, 1959, despite the Milwaukee Braves bullpen stealing catcher Smokey Burge's signs, Pittsburgh Pirates pitcher Harvey Haddix threw 12 perfect innings before losing the game in the 13th. The only Braves player not to accept the signs was Hank Aaron. Go figure. You then have what happened in March 1962, when newly acquired Mets pitcher Jay Hook accused his previous team, the 1961 National League champion Reds, of stealing signs throughout the season with help from former Reds pitcher Brooks Lawrence, stationed inside Crosley Field's scoreboard. Lawrence denied the charge, and Reds manager Fred Hutchinson, when asked if he would either confirm or deny the allegation, replied simply, and I quote, no comment." 40 years later, Hook's story was indirectly corroborated by another member of the 61 Reds, pitcher-author Jim Brosnan, discussing the disappointing home field performance by Reds hitters during the 1961 World Series. Lawrence was up in the left center field scoreboard stealing every sign the Yankees catcher gave. Despite this confirmation, there was no consequences to those involved. Sign stealing is a thing that has been around for over 150 years. Whether legal or illegal, it's a thing, and it probably may never go away. However, even if the Tigers did what Nick Madrigal and the White Sox were accusing them of, there technically is not a rule stating that it's illegal like I stated earlier. If you're a baseball team, you can find ways to steal signs as long as it doesn't involve technology. If it does, like the examples I gave in this video from years past, along with the Houston Astros cheating scandal, then it's wrong. But if Miguel Cabrera and the Detroit Tigers are stealing signs from second base, that's on Madrigal, the White Sox catchers, and the rest of the team to figure out a way around that.